Hello, my name is Dr. Anita Diaz, and today I'd like to talk to you about our degree course Ecology and Wildlife Conservation. I'm the programme leader for the degree course, and today I'd like to go through some information on our staff and the learning environment that we provide for you to study on this degree course, actually learning within the degree course itself, and then all of the other additional ways in which you can learn whilst here that really add to your opportunity for personal development and for a career in the end. And we'll go through some really important components, which are placements, other opportunities to learn, which includes some team-based learning through student environment research teams, and the really nice Conservation Society work that our students do and lead. And there are two societies which I'll mention. And then finally, what I'd like to do is to come back to thinking about how all this pulls together in the end to provide a great opportunity for a career either in ecology and wildlife conservation or another area if you want to do this degree for interest and then have a really good graduate science degree at the far end of it. So why here? Well, it's a fantastic place to live. Bournemouth is a vibrant town with a huge opportunity for getting involved in lots of different activities. We've got, I think, the best beach across the southern coast, and we've also got amazing environments. We're so lucky here. We've got World Heritage sites on either side, we've got national parks, we've got within the university itself a huge investment in student learning environment. So we've got buildings going up with loads of new facilities, new one going up this year. And we were the very first university to be commended for its provision of learning opportunities for our students. So there's a really important buzzy culture here of wanting this to be a great place for our students so that they can enjoy it as much as our staff do. Real key features of the course is we have so many staff here with a really diverse set of ecological interests. We're really lucky, partly because we live in a great place and partly because I think a combination of staff brings more stuff together. There's a rich variety of us, and we're very keen to work with our students within a context that's often research-based and working with organisations like lots of the wildlife conservation organisations we have around us. And we've got great opportunities for doing that both here and overseas. And there's also, in addition to the environment that we can provide and that is around us all here, we've got the opportunity within the structure of the degree for you to do placements, short placements and also a long placement if you'd like to do that, and lots of other opportunities which I'll mention about building up your CV by getting involved in more than just turning up for lectures. So some of the staff on the degree course, you've got a couple of slides of these, just to give you a bit of a flavour really. So I'm interested in most things terrestrial, so interactions of animals and plants, particularly pollination, biology and grazing ecology, work a lot with the environment conservation organisations. Richard Stillman, our most keen birder. We've got several members of staff that are interested in birds, but Richard is a professor that's been doing ecological modelling with birds for many years now and informing many organisations as to how to manage people and birds and make sure that there are enough resources for both. Mandy works on primates, monkeys and great apes. Kathy, huge range of interests, including small animals, so lots of work on squirrels, but also on sustainability in a wider environment. And Rob, one of our fish experts, works in this country, but also provides lots of advisory work in Africa. Ian knows of all things tiny and how, in particular, toxic metals are transmitted through the soil into organisms and then can bioaccumulate up through food chains and cause major problems later on. We have more people interested at Chris in sustainability. We have quite a strong element of members of staff interested in the marine environment. So Luciana on the coast, Roger, real fan of rocky shores in particular. Also on the microbial world, there's Genevieve and Dan. And also on the really small scale world, there's Demetra and Emily, who are both conservation geneticists. And then John is a paleoecologist, and that's actually for ecology and wildlife conservation. It's so important to know what the the past was if we're going to try and conserve the future. So that adds a really nice dimension. And there are many more stuff, but just to introduce you to perhaps a final little set, we have a strong element of geography in our department as a whole, and that actually provides our ecology and wildlife conservation students who are interested in that area real opportunity to get involved in the interface between ecology and geography and understand mapping, geographical information systems. And that's actually a really, really good skill set if that's something you want to do and go into ecological conservation with that sort of approach to it. And so we've got strong support for that from a lecturing team. That some of them you can see here includes Ross, who actually does remote sensing, Pippa, also an ecologist who works very strongly with GIS, and so understands that interface between ecology and mapping very well, and some of my other colleagues here, all of whom, Adrian, Duncan, Rick and Elena, work on big scale, landscape scale restoration and conservation of world ecosystems. So apart from us academic staff and the support that we will provide our students, and we're really, all of us are really passionate about actually working closely with our students, so we like opportunities to be able to help, and all of us have effectively open door policies. And if we're in our office and you want some help, obviously there's not interrupting anything, which usually there's plenty of times when we are just in our offices just working away. We're more than happy for people to just knock on the door. But in addition to that, there's lots of other opportunities. So we do understand that going into university can be quite a challenging first step, and so we do make sure that the support systems are there. So Bournemouth provides lots of, for example, study support if you're not sure about your exam techniques or your revision, and that's a really common thing, then the support is there. We also make sure that all students have got at least 2 members of staff that they can have direct contact with. There's a programme leader, myself, and there's also going to be a personal tutor, will be another member of staff, so you can ask either of us. And in addition to that, there are also other people that you can go to. So we have, to grow at BU, we have a student who will be a student from a similar degree course that's paid to be an advisor, and sometimes students find that easier to talk to another student first. And there's also opportunities for getting more significant, specific medical help if you need that, either on physical grounds or mental grounds. We've basically got a strong support system because we want to make sure our students have the best opportunities to do as well as they can whilst they're here. Some of the peer support, so for example, that you can see that we have student reps. We have also a student champion who is almost like the rep of the reps. So these are opportunities for students to directly inform us about things that are going right or wrong in quite an official capacity. And also peer-assisted learning, which is where students are paid to provide some actual tutoring support to other students that works alongside what we already provide, is a great way for students to actually gain some skills themselves while sharing with other students. And that means that they have an opportunity to put that towards their own career development and, for example, can work towards a student development award. So it's a really nice way of students, as well as having us available, having a wide range of other support available, and they themselves being able to be some of those supporters and so adding to their CV. And we think it's really important that the university provides a really well-rounded opportunity for people to be able to develop themselves in the way they want to go. So, specifically about the content of the degree course then, we have a fixed first year. Well, what we do is everybody that comes on the degree course does these units here, and that's because we want to make really sure that everybody has a strong science foundation in their first year, no matter what particular direction in ecology and wildlife conservation they're interested in. So we've got a really good founding first year with a residential field course that's a great way for students to learn a range of skills in both field work and then also bringing that back and being able to report it. Then at the end of the first year, everybody does a placement for 5 weeks, and we'll provide support on how you might choose that placement and what sort of placements you might go to. We have here, you know, a really wide range of different placements. We've been running the degree course a long time, and so it's there's 500 plus placements that we have regularly available for our students, and we know that they are good placements. So it's the advantage of having been here for a while and having a good network of collaborating institutions. There's also the opportunity for students as they move into the end of their first year and start to go into their second year to think about what second year options they would like to do. And what we do at this point is to go, well, everybody has a slightly different direction that they want from their degree. So you can start to shape it, having got a good foundation. And so in their second year, students can choose between two of these options here. And that already begins to give some kind of opportunity for tailoring. It includes an international field trip, which at the moment we are going to Costa Rica. It's the only part of the degree course that is in addition to the main course fee, so all the other opportunities like the residential field trip and all of the units come within the full course fees. The international field trip is subsidised, but it would be extra money if people wanted to go on that. It's an option, so you don't have to. And many of our students do choose to go on the international field trip, but there's other opportunities for doing work abroad, particularly those two placements, which I'll come back to in a moment. And then the third year is real opportunity for getting involved in a direction of ecology and wildlife conservation that you really find interesting. So for example, we have the independent research project, which is worth 2 units. It's a really important part of the degree, and you can choose to do that in whatever subject you like. Again, we're lucky because of the range of academic staff we've got that we can support most, really, pretty well all degree, all subject areas. So we're really happy to support a student's choice in that. If they'd like some extra guidance, we're happy to do that as well. And then the students can choose from any of these options, and that means that you can really tailor a degree to fit your own needs. And by this time in the third year, many students have got quite a good idea of where they'd like to be going. The field trips that are part of the degree courses and that are included within the degree costs are all over the place. Again, we're so lucky because we've got a wide range of great environments here locally, and in addition to that, we've got some good kit that our students have got available. So it gives you a bit of a feel for it. Most of our students really enjoy doing outdoor field work, so we've got a lot of field kit, but we also have some very substantial research facilities in our labs. And for example, it's quite possible for a student to be, and thinking of one just at the moment, you know, she's out doing research work, in her case actually in Peru, collecting samples from a contaminated site where mercury has been used to extract gold, an unfortunately common problem in Peru, and that actually has some real impacts in terms of the whole people's health and whole ecosystem health. So she's brought samples back of plants that are growing these contaminated soils to see how contaminated they are and whether that's going to be accumulating up through the food chains. There's also then a really important part of our degree course, which are our placements, and they are part of the degree. You've got to do them, you've got to pass them. They are, we know, something that's really important for employability in our students, and the opportunities with placements are wherever you would like them to be. You can do placements where you live at home nearby, you can do placements near Bournemouth, you can go abroad. And for placements, there's quite a nice range of opportunities for funding. So, for example, Global Horizons will provide up to £2,000 to support a student going and doing a placement overseas. We also have within our department our own departmental international travel grant for students, which students can apply for, and at the moment it's for £100 that students can also use to go and do overseas work. So there's opportunities to get financial support in to go and do placements abroad. And on an average year, about half of our students will do a placement abroad. Here's gives you a bit of an idea of some of the placements that our students do. It can be, as I say, whatever you would like it to be. We're happy to advise as to whether or not we think the placement that you've got in mind is likely to be beneficial for you for your degree course, but we're also very happy for you to be able to find something that really interests you and to go with that. Most importantly, it's got to be something that we're happy is going to add to your skill set. And the really nice thing is that there's many different sorts of placements that you can do that would add to that. So perhaps if I show you the little link that we've got to just one of the placements on the co-creation website that we've got. So this website actually is a outward-facing website for our students. You can go look at this yourself afterwards, and we'll have a flip through. It's a brand new website, so we're only just populating it. But what it's got on it are a range of projects, and this page is all of our placement projects. So if I click on this one here with Ecology, just as an example, so this student has put a little bit of information about her project here. She's also loaded on the placement report, which all of our students do at the end of their placement, and is a great way for them to show what they've done and what they've learned whilst doing this placement. And if you also click onto the people involved, you can actually meet the student, Phoebe. If you go over the photo, you can see her little summary of what it is she did on this placement and what she gained from it. And we also really strongly believe in supporting our students after they've finished their degree course as well. And so in the case here, Phoebe's given her as her LinkedIn account. So if you look at that, that takes you straight to Phoebe's LinkedIn. And so if I've got a job, which happens quite regularly, somebody contacts me and says, hey, do you know a great person for this job? I can go, Phoebe, she's great. I think this would really suit her. And I can contact her and let her know. Most importantly, so can everybody else. So it means that if somebody's looking through our website and sees some of our students and thinks they look really great, and they can find out a little bit about the work that they've done through what they've already said about themselves, then there's a way for our students to basically permanently be able to have access to people that might be interested in the work they've done on their degree. So if we just move on now, we can see that there's an opportunity for doing placements any way you like. We also have, so these guys came out with me a few years ago. We were out in Ecuador and Peru. These are the Ecuador guys, and we were out doing trap camera work, looking to see what animals there were in the forests and how people and the use of forests for ecotourism might affect that for good and for bad. So opportunities to get involved anywhere, either as individuals or as teams. And team placements are actually really a nice idea, and it's something that we've been developing at Bournemouth within our student environment research teams. And the idea behind them is that it's very much a partnership of staff and students working together with professional practitioners, usually conservation ecologists. And that partnership means that we move into an arena where students have really got an opportunity for leadership and for developing that leadership alongside us, working alongside us. So it's a really good way for our students to start to really pick up the reins of what they can do as graduates, because let's face it, what universities really should be producing as graduates and be leaders. So to be able to show responsibility, to take leadership roles, and also to be able to work as part of a team is a really important way of becoming a well-rounded graduate and somebody with really high professional skill sets. What we've got here is a little video clip on certs, which we'll click on now and you can have a little look at.
The great thing about university is that it brings together students and staff who like the same subject areas. And what's really inspiring is to create new research knowledge together and learn through our partnership. Certs are a voluntary way for students to gain skills and competences while benefiting science and society with the knowledge they co-create with staff. Okay. Over and above the opportunities that staff provide by working with students and by providing placement support for students, there's obviously the students themselves, and they're a wonderful resource here for other students. So what we have here is a vibrant wildlife conservation community society that's run by students for students. Will help along, but fundamentally this is about students being energised by other students. It's a great way of students getting to know students in other years of the degree course. They organise all sorts of things. They'll organise talks, they'll organise out-ins out, they'll organise activities where they'll go and meet some professional practitioners and hear about the sort of work that they do out actually in context. So it's a really nice community. They also do lots of just fun stuff, like they do camping trips out, they do pub crawls, they do quizzes. It's one of the biggest community societies in the university, and great fun. And there's also, for students that are interested in the practical conservation work, a dedicated Students' Union Conservation Rangers team, and that's actually a fantastic way of going out there, getting involved in some practical conservation, getting some skills, learning stuff that you can then bring back into your degree learning. So we always really encourage students to basically get involved. And it's one of the best things if you're interested in ecology and wildlife conservation, is to make sure that you do get involved beyond just the real core bit of the lectures. It's a really good way to skill up. And all that skilling up leads to high employability. And what we've got here is an opportunity. We have an online, an attached ecological consultancy that's part of our department that can provide a first chance of employment for our students. And so we've had recently 2 students from this degree course working with this consultancy, doing survey work for the RSPB in the contract that we hold in. And it's a nice way of finishing your degree, is actually being able to walk out and get your first job. And so I guess that brings me towards the end of this talk, and thinking about why is it that you might want to come and do this degree. Hopefully you'd have great fun here. That would be one of our big hopes for you. But we also, of course, the point is that we want to make sure that you leave us being really well able to take on a degree, a employment that you would like in the area that you would like. And that means having an opportunity to walk away from here with a wide skill set. So that means skills in beyond just ecology and wildlife conservation. It's these transferable skills in addition to your subject-specific skills that your employers, all employers, are really looking for. I hope that will give you a bit of a flavour today of how getting involved in what we teach on the degree course and all the other wider learning opportunities could help you do this. And so where do our students go? All sorts of different places. Our students most often come with the hope to work with conservation organisations, and the most of our students do actually, that is what they end up doing. They leave with that same hope and aspiration, and we're very lucky again because we've got contacts with lots of different wildlife conservation organisations, and our students quite often within their placements forge those contacts even more strongly, and so there's a really nice network there of employment possibilities out there for our students.
and our students also, through being able to put up their work that they've done on the co-creation website, are easily viewable by these organisations. There's also, beyond the conservation organisations and the government conservation organisations, ecological consultancy again, with as well as our own in-house ecological consultancy. We've got a good network with other ecological consultancies locally, many of whom provide placement opportunities for our students. So that's a really, again, common route in which people go. And then there's ecotourism. Many of our students blend ecology and wildlife conservation with making an environment also appealing to people, and so therefore protecting it that way, and that's in this country and especially abroad. And then of course there's the opportunity to carry on in further education. Many of our students do master's degrees, and quite a lot of them have been doing PhDs, and we've just had one graduate just a couple of weeks ago now. So, I hope you found that talk interesting, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.